thinking about eating right for our hearts, for our weight. But what about for our brains? It turns out the food on your plate might just be one of the most powerful tools you have to protect your brain as you get older. New science is showing this incredible connection between our diet and the actual physical structure of our brains. So let's get into it. So that brings us to the big question, right? Can what you eat literally slow down your brain's biological clock? I mean, it's a wild idea, but thanks to some really compelling new research, we're getting closer to an answer. And that answer seems to circle around one specific diet plan.
All right, first up, a diet for your brain. We're talking about a way of eating that researchers now think can have a real, measurable impact on your brain's structure over time, basically helping to shield it from the wear and tear of aging. And look, this isn't just a guess. A study in the Journal of Neurology, Neurosurgery, and Psychiatry found that folks who followed a particular eating pattern showed less tissue loss, especially in their gray matter. And that gray matter is absolutely crucial for stuff like memory, learning, decision-making. It's a big deal.
Okay, so what is this amazing brain-boosting plan? It's called the Mind Diet. And no, it's not some complicated new fad. It's actually a smart hybrid of two of the most respected, well-researched diets out there. So the name, MIND, it's actually an acronym. It stands for Mediterranean - Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay. It's a bit of a mouthful, I know. But really, all you need to know is that it takes the best brain-healthy parts of the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet and combines them into one super plan.
So what do you actually eat? Well, the foundation is all about these 9 food groups. We're talking lots of leafy greens like spinach and kale, a whole rainbow of other veggies, and especially berries. It also really pushes nuts, whole grains, fish, beans, poultry, and making olive oil your go-to fat.
And of course, just as important as what you eat is what you try to eat less of. The Mind Diet suggests dialing way back on these 5: butter and margarine, cheese, red meat, all those pastries and sweets, and, no surprise here, fried and fast foods. The idea isn't to be perfect, just to be mindful and reduce them. Okay, section 3, putting it to the test. A diet plan sounds great on paper, but we need proof, right? So how did researchers figure out if this actually works? Well, they put it through its paces in a major long-term study to see what was really going on inside people's brains. So here's the breakdown. Scientists tracked over 1,600 adults for, on average, 12 years. That's a long time. The participants filled out detailed questionnaires about what they ate, and this is the really cool part, they also got their brains scanned with MRIs. This meant the researchers could actually see if the food people ate was connected to physical changes in their brains. And this is where things get really exciting. After all those years of tracking and scanning, the results started to paint a super clear picture. Those MRI scans gave them direct, visual proof of the diet's potential power.
So here it is, the big headline finding. People who stuck closer to the Mind Diet had a slower loss of gray matter. How much slower? Well, the effect was so significant it was calculated to be like delaying your brain's aging by about 2.5 years. Just think about that. That is a real, measurable difference. What I love about this is how it breaks down the MVPs. On the brain booster side, you have berries, which were strongly linked to less brain shrinkage, and poultry was connected to a slower decline in that critical gray matter. Then you've got the brain busters. Sweets and fried foods were tied to faster brain atrophy, especially in the hippocampus. That's a huge area for your memory.
But, science is rarely that simple, and this study was no different. Along with all the results that made sense, the researchers found some surprising little details that make this whole diet plan story even more fascinating. So get this, even though cheese was on the limit list, eating more of it was unexpectedly linked to slower reductions in gray matter. And even crazier, whole grains, which we all think of as super healthy, were associated with faster declines. It's just a great reminder that nutrition is incredibly complex, and we've still got a ton to learn. But even with those weird little twists, the researchers' main takeaway was super clear. They basically said that the overall pattern reinforces the idea that the Mind Diet is a really powerful tool for your brain, and it can play a huge role in slowing down neurodegeneration. Now, we gotta be real about the limitations here. This was an observational study, which means it shows a powerful link, but it can't prove cause and effect. Plus, people's memories of what they ate aren't always perfect. And since most participants were white, we don't know for sure if these results apply to everybody. It's a huge piece of the puzzle for sure, but it's not the final word.
So we're left with this really powerful question. Yeah, more research is definitely needed, but this study adds a ton of weight to the idea that one of the best things we can do for our long-term brain health might just start with our next meal. Is the future of brain health on our plates? It sure looks like a delicious possibility.